Every single trade that you're seeing on the screen and the blueprint edge that you've seen multiple breakdowns and trades of all over Instagram, YouTube, our website, everywhere is now automated. So the very edge that you've been seeing on our YouTube and Instagram, the very edge that I've broken down for you have now been condensed into two files where you can use on MT4, MT5, and this is just a collection and a sample of the data that these files have produced. Firstly, welcome back to the channel, welcome back, and I just want to say thank you for watching and thank you for the feedback on how the blueprint model has been performing for you guys. As I said, I've given you pretty much everything you need to go away and trade effectively. And in this video, I'm going to show you the true versatility of this edge. Now, as you saw in the intro of this video, before we get into the breakdowns, the pre-sale of our blueprint algo will be open on March the 2nd at midnight, and that will give you early access where you can purchase and confirm your seat for the blueprint algo at a considerably reduced cost when we have our full release on March the 9th. So be sure to secure your seat. Be sure to go on the website, sign up to our email listing if you haven't done so already. Drop us a DM on Instagram and be ready to be part of this if you've enjoyed the blueprint edge so far. So for those who've been following the edge, you know exactly what this algo can do. It will trade exactly as you see in these videos. So all the results that you're seeing, all the trades that you are seeing, imagine not having to do anything. You just plug the file in and you let it do its thing. It'll do everything for you. It'll identify its buyers for you, identify the trades, take the trades for you, manage the trades for you with our unique break-even rules as well, and it will also control which sessions that you trade. You can trade Asia, London, New York, all hands free. Anyway, let's get into this video. So in this video, I am going to show you the true efficiency of this edge and how you can utilize the rules to suit you more as a trader. Now, I've not seen anyone do this themselves. I was interested to see if anyone would think about doing this themselves. There could be people out there, but no one's reached out. But I want to show you something about the difference in how you can become a profitable trader with what you've learned. So as I said, I've learned from several sources, and everything that you see is a collection of information that I've built up over the years. And for me to develop my own edge, I've needed that knowledge to do that. Now, what I've given you essentially is a blueprint to go away and manipulate the rules of the edge to suit yourself as a trader. Now, say that trading the M1 is too aggressive for you, it's taking too many entries, and you're not liking the exposure. The thing that we can do to change this is change the entry time frame to make it something that's a bit more feasible, where you have less aggression, it is easier to execute, just a bit more relaxed, and you're not too fussed in the return itself. So here we have EU. Now this is, I believe, today. Yeah, it's today. So what we have is, sorry, I got a bit of a cough, so forgive me. So what we have is the 15-minute bias as normal. We have the high being taken, so obviously we're looking to go short. Now the difference when it comes to the entry time frame is, the difference that we have coming to the entry time frame is, instead of using the 1 minute, is much cleaner. We are just following the 5 minute time frame. So what we have is we're looking for the 5 minute sweep. Now we don't have anything. We have one sweep here, but no entry. And then we have this sweep where we have a sweep here and then an entry coming off this refinement candle, with the stop loss being 3.5 and the take profit being 3R, because it's above the 3 pip stop loss rule. Now, if we compare this, if I go on the M1, for example, and then we go ahead and see what's happened on the M1, we can see the difference between the M5 and the M1. Now, what we have first is obviously the first thing to happen, which I shouldn't say, sorry, was that the low was taken. So we'll be looking to go long up until this point, right? Now, there was no long entries anyway, so it doesn't make a difference there. Now, we'll be looking to go short once it passes this high, which is from here in this gap. So, forgive me. Okay, so what we have is the first sweep, which we have is here, which is right there. Then we have a refinement candle, and then we have an entry. Now this entry itself, if I mark it out here, this with the stop loss rule, 1.8, we would have had, okay, that's 1 point. Why is it not going? There we go. We would have had one loss there, and then we have another sweep with another entry, which would have been here with the stop loss above here, wherever it is. That one also would have lost, and then eventually we would have had a sweep, which is, this is in line, so it's not invalidated. We have a sweep and then an entry, and then we would have entered. Now the difference probably here would be, would that be a 5R trade? It would be 2.8. Yeah, so we would aim for 5R in this case. So the difference between M1 and M5 is that M5 hit 3R with no losses as a straight clean trade, whereas on M1 you have the stress of reading all of this price action, and you've taken 2 losses and then a 5R win, so you end up with 3R anyway. Now think about it from a commission point of view, you may lose out a bit of commission, so you may have made more on the 5 minute as opposed to the 1 minute. I'm not saying that this is always the case. This is just showing you and giving you an insight into how you can be less aggressive with this very edge. Let's move on to another breakdown. So let's do another one. So this is GU, and again, I believe this is this morning. Yeah, it is. So what we have is, we have the last thing to happen was the 15-minute sweep, which was here, and then nothing else happened in between. The only thing we need to be aware of is the 15-minute high being taken before the session. So forgive me. Okay, so what we're looking for when the session starts is we're looking to go long. Now this is the 5 minute. Now we're looking to go long up until when it hits around 8 o'clock. So then we start looking to go short. So what we have is we have a 5 minute sweep where we don't have any entry, and then we don't have an entry, and then we look to go long, short, sorry, when this gets taken, and this 15-minute high is taken, but then there's no entry. So this session, there's no entry. That is the difference between the 5 minute and the 1 minute, which I'll show you the 1 minute now. Now, here, if you go to the M1, and this is showing you the downside to using a higher time frame for your entries. You may not always get an entry, which isn't a bad thing, which I may have made it sound like it's a bad thing, but it's not. It's, if you want to be conservative as a trader and you only want to take a few trades with a higher win rate, then the 5 minute is the way to go. Wherever, if you're looking for some, if you're happy and you have the risk appetite to take multiple trades, so in the session where you have a max trade rule, like I have a max trade rule of 3, and you're happy risking 3 trades, for example, for whatever you get in return, then that's fine. It's suiting the strategy to suit you. Like for example, every trade is going to be different. I am different to a majority of you, where my risk appetite may be a little bit higher, or even for some of you it may be less for you. So think about it this way, and then now you can think about how you can manipulate the rules of the edge to suit you better as a trader. So this is the M1. I'm not actually seeing the chart myself, so I don't know if there is an entry, but it looks like there is. Ah, there is a beautiful entry actually. So what we have is we have this low, then it gets swept, and then we have an entry here. Now this entry, I'm not going to mark it because we know it loses. So we have an entry just off this candle here, and then the stop loss is going to be below here, and then gets taken out. Actually, I will mark it for the sake of, actually no, it invalidates, no point. So we have a -1 there, and then we have another sweep with no entry, and then we have another sweep here with a very clean entry, and it should be there with the stop loss at 2 pips. And then because it's below the 3 pip threshold, we can aim for 5R, which hits just there very nicely. So that's again, that's showing you the difference and the downside to going up a time frame using your entry, uh, for your entry, sorry, and then going down time frames. You can take multiple trades, you can take multiple losses, but you can also have quicker and easier wins as well. So you need to think about what you want as a trader yourself. Let's look at another one. So let's do another breakdown. Now, this breakdown is the reason we've gone back to EU is because the time I'm recording this video, the blueprint algo on my account has just hit TP, which I'll just show on the screen here. So let's do a breakdown of this trade. So what we have is, first of all, the last thing that happens on the buyer's time frame is that the 15-minute low was taken. Now, because we've changed the entry time frame, not in this case, but because I'm showing you how you can change the entry time frame, you can also play around with your buyer's time frame, which I'll save for another video. But let's break down this trade. So what we have is the low is taken. So when the session starts, we're looking to go long. Now, what we have initially is, let's mark it. So we have a sweep first, but we don't have any entry, nothing. And then we have another sweep, refinement candle, entry off the break, and then it gets eventually gets taken out. Let me get rid of all of that. And the next thing we have is another sweep, sweeping candle, refinement candle, entry on the breakout, and then uh, a simple 5-hour trade. Now this trade just hit TP whilst I was recording this video, and it was all entered accurately by the blueprint algo. Now the difference, if you look at the screenshot of the trade itself, now a lot of you probably ask, how do you enter straight away? Now if you were to enter manually, your entry would probably be slightly up here or like slightly delayed, which means that your stop loss is now 2.4, which means you're aiming for a higher target, which is here. So the difference here is that obviously price here continued, which is very nice. But what if it was the case that it went there and started reversing and it didn't hit your TP? Whereas with the algo, the difference is you get perfect execution every time, to the point where you can get very tight. You can get very tight with how your stop loss and TPs are, because it's entered perfectly, which is something that a human can't even do, which was the main reason why I wanted the blueprint algo to be created. Let's move on to the next breakdown. So moving on to the next trade now. Again, this trade just hit TP. The blueprint algo just entered and hit TP on this one. So what we have is, so this is the reason why I only stopped the breakdown of the other trades, just so I can show you the effectiveness of the algo as well. So we have the 15-minute sweep. So obviously we're looking to go long. Now, what we're looking for is an entry. So we have a sweep here, no entry. We've got invalidation, another sweep, no entry, invalidation, no sweep, no sweep. We have a sweep here, and then we have an entry just off this candle, with the stop loss being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then because it's over 3, we're aiming for 3R, which is just here. A simple 3R trade. And again, this was taken whilst I was recording this video, hands-free. Let's move on to the next trade. Now this is the last and final trade that just hit TP on the blueprint algo, as you can see on the screen here. Now let's go into this one. So what we have is, we have the sweep. Oops. Okay, so we have the sweep and we're looking to obviously go short. So now coming into the session, we have a sweep, invalidation, sweep, invalidation, no entry, no entry, no entry, and then here we have a sweep, and as you can see we have an entry just off this candle here, with the stop loss 2.5 pips, and because it's under 3 we are aiming for 5R, which is the nice clean simple trade. And actually while we're here, let's see if there's a 5-minute entry itself. So if we entered off the 5-minute, there wouldn't be an entry in this case anyway. So again, that just shows you the different. But even though there's less trades, the screenshots that you're seeing at the start of this video, showing you the backtested data of the blueprint algo, shows you the data of the 5-minute trades as well, which will be available on the website over this weekend as well for you to see. To show you the difference between the 5-minute and the 1-minute. The 5-minute showed a higher win rate overall, um, and less trades taken. However, the 1 minute gave a slightly higher return, but there was more trades taken, and it depends on whether you're comfortable with taking that many more trades. I think it's like a 150 to 200 trade discrepancy on across multiple pairs. But what you've seen from this video, one is, to be fair, I didn't plan the video to show you the blueprint algo trades. I just didn't expect it to hit TP whilst I was recording. It was just happened to be the case. But you've seen the effectiveness of the blueprint algo. You've seen how flexible the blueprint edge can be, and how you can tailor the edge to suit you better as a trader. And what we'll be doing in the coming videos is going over different buyers time frames and how you can manipulate your buyer's time frame and the entry time frame to suit you better as a day trader, session trader, swing trader, however you want to call it, and all dependent on the level of risk that you prefer. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Just remember that the pre-sale event starts on Monday the 2nd. Be sure to sign up to our website so you're completely alert of when that actually starts and comes out if you're interested. Uh, and also be sure to hit the notification and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well for more videos like this. I'll see you all in the next one.